Welcome to Spyder Auto's step bar installation guide for the Toyota Rav4. Before we get started, you'll need a 17 and 19mm socket and ratchet, and a panel popper. We've laid out the contents of your step bar kit for illustration purposes here. We've laid out our brackets alongside our Rav4. We'll start up at the front. You'll need to locate these two rubber plugs just behind the front tire. Use a panel popper or flathead screwdriver to remove the plugs. Now locate a 17mm bolt and add this slotted plate onto the bolt. Insert the bolt and the slotted plate into the circular body opening as shown. Now locate a 19mm bolt plate which will mount into the oval opening here. Insert the bolt plate into the oval opening as shown. Now locate the front bracket and large spacer. Install the spacer plate side up onto the 19mm bolt plate stud. Now mount the front bracket over the spacer onto the 17 and 19mm bolt studs that we installed. Now add a washer over the front bracket onto the 19mm bolt plate stud. Then add a lock ring over the washer onto the 19mm bolt plate stud. Then install a 19mm nut over the lock ring and washer. Leave it finger tight for now to allow room for adjustments later. Now over the 17mm stud. Add a washer over the bracket onto the 17mm bolt stud. Then add a lock ring over the washer. Then install a 17mm nut over the lock ring onto the 17mm stud. Leave this finger tight. Now for the rear. Locate and remove the rear oval-shaped rubber plug shown here. Locate a 19mm bolt plate and then insert the bolt plate into the oval body opening as shown. Now locate the rear bracket and mount it as shown, with the contours of the bracket lined up with the body. Add a large washer over the bracket onto the 19mm bolt stud. Add a lock ring over the washer. Install a 19mm nut over the lock ring onto the 19mm bolt plate stud. Leave this finger tight as well. Now we'll step out from under our Rav4. It's time to mount the step bar. Mount the step bar as shown, with the flat side of the bars resting on the pads of the brackets. Install a 19mm bolt, lock ring, and washer at each end of the step bar. Make any adjustments needed to your step bar, and then it's time to tighten everything down. Tighten the 17mm front bracket nut. Then tighten the 19mm front bracket nut. Now we'll step over to the rear to tighten the 19mm rear bracket nut. With the bracket secure, now we'll tighten the rear 19mm step bar bolt. Then we'll tighten the front 19mm step bar bolt. With the bolts secured, let's check the step bar for tightness. Looks good! Congratulations, you've fitted your Rav4 with a set of step bars from Spyder Auto.